Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to UN Sunan Kalijaga Libraries Zoom meeting. We proudly present the International Talk Visiting International Libraries 2021, organized by UN Sunan Kalijaga Library, SLA Asia, and Association of Islamic University Library. This international talk is to provide a platform for exchange of knowledge and skill relevant to information professional in Asia and worldwide with a global perspective. The program will invite 12 well-known librarians from all over the world. The invited librarian will talk about their experience, best practice about what they do, so that it will give inspiration to other librarians. And it is being a great honor for me, Ismiatin, the staff of UIN Sunan Kalijaga Library, to be here and welcome each of you in this Zoom meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, over the next few hours, this meeting will provide you the opportunities to discuss, share knowledge, and insight about information literacy. Before we proceed the program today, we would like to express our gratitude to the Honorable Director of UIN Sunan Kalijaga, Professor Al-Makin, the Honorable President of SLA Asian Community, Dr. Debal Sikar, the Honorable Head of UIN Sunan Kalijaga Library, Mrs. Labibah Zain, the Honorable Speaker, Dr. Jesus Lau, as well Honorable our sponsor, EBSCO and iGroup, and distinguished participants. Before going to the agenda today, let's listen to the national anthem of Indonesia Raya and UIN Sunan Kalijaga hymn. Please make your video on.
Good morning to all.
Thank you very much. It is now my deep pleasure to introduce the Director of UIN Sunan Kalijaga, the Honorable Professor Pil Almakin, to deliver the opening remarks. And afterward, we would like to request Professor Almakin to officially open international talk visiting international librarian. We are pleased to have the proper Professor Almakin to deliver the opening remarks.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Yogyakarta. Jesus Lau. Welcome. We do wish that this pandemic is over soon, so you could physically visit our campus. And thank you, the head of the library, Ibu Labiba, for holding such a great event. And thanks for everybody in this morning who stay healthy and happy. Please do make a good breakfast. Don't forget about it, and keep healthy and do exercise. Because we cannot do anything else except we keep our health in check and we happy and exercise so that our immune increase and stable. So I'm very happy and so proud of the progress of the library. Our library has received award from the Ministry of Religious Affairs for innovations and international linkage. Our head of library became the head of the Library Association of Indonesia, APPTIS. Incredible achievement. And today, this is quite our honor that such a creative and innovative events at the moment we can attend, and due to this creativity, our library will keep going in progress and one or two steps ahead of other libraries. What I remarked from the last years that our head of library, Ibu Labiba, always creative in making library attractive and interesting place. Some students very happy to hang around in the library, not only for reading, but for other activities like holding poetry recitation, singing, karaoke, also just sitting around, hang around. We could gather, not only for reading books, but for sharing ideas and also finding friends. This is very important because our students during this pandemic era get bored at home and they keep still and isolated at home or in their room. And library might entertain everybody. And we, of course, wish that the vaccine going to come and everybody get injected, and so that we could freely move to our library and to appreciate what library have innovated. I promise during my term, 2020 and 2024, we are going to increase the budget for our library. Yeah, we're going to subscribe more online journals. We're going to innovate more, and I do wish we are still open mind in accepting innovative ideas. At the moment, I am on the way to other place because I am in Jakarta to visit some offices, to strengthen our linkages, to strengthen our friendship, so that in Yogyakarta become place where everybody feel comfortable. And indeed, we are quite open to any kind of collaboration from Indonesia and other countries, from our colleagues, Indonesian colleagues, and colleagues from outside Indonesia. Okay, I would like to congratulate to Ibu Labiba, the head of the library, and very incredible team, solid team from the library, from Ibu Wahyani, Ibu Husnul, and other names that I cannot mention here one by one. Thank you very much. Welcome to all guests. Please allow me to leave this Zoom meeting after I finish my words. Thank you, congratulations. Please do exercise, please eat regularly, and keep healthy and happy. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you very much, Professor Al-Makin, for giving speech. Okay, secondly, I'll invite President of SLA Asia, the Honorable Dr. Debal Sikar, to deliver the next opening remark. We are pleased to have Dr. Debal Sikar to deliver the next opening remark.
Good morning to all. Dear Professor Phil Al-Makin, Rector of UIN Sunan Kalijaga, Indonesia, Professor Jesus Lau, Universidad Veracruzana, Mexico, Miss Labiba Jain, Head UIN Sunan Kalijaga Library, and my dear friends and participants. It is my proud and privilege to welcome you all on the behalf of the Asian chapter of the Special Libraries Association. I would like to extend a hearty special welcome to our esteemed guest, speaker, and all the participants. SL Asian chapter is very happy to associate with the UIN Sunan Kalijaga Library and APPTIS to organize visiting librarian program during the year 2021. As scheduled, it will be organizing a meeting one day in every month throughout the year in 2021. There will be an invited talks from experts of different country, librarians and information professionals. It is good initiative and speakers are mostly from this part of the world. Thanks Labiba for nice initiative. The speaker are Shantanu Ganguly, Cherinev Levin Wale, Kathleen Levin Wale from Canada, Nalini Mahajan from USA, Charlie Ingles Cruz from Philippines, Arshad Muhammad from Pakistan, Joseph F. from Kazakhstan, Yüksel Durkan from Turkey, Dilara Begum from Bangladesh, Reshma Dongal from Nepal, Christine McKenzie from Australia, and Edzam Chen Nasir from Malaysia. The series of the talk will be wide range of topics like information literacy, knowledge management, government librarian, bank librarian, medical librarian, school librarian, modern library management, reading interest movement for kids, SDGs, and so on. And today's speaker is Dr. Jesus Lau from Mexico, and he will talk on UNESCO MIL Alliance, Media and Information Skills. Hope you will find very interesting. I found very happy to be associated with such a good initiative, good organizations. On behalf of SL Asian chapter, I thanks Labiba for nice initiative and also UIN Sunan Kalijaga Library for these nice activities. Welcome all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for Dr. Debal Sikar for giving speech. Okay, for information to all audiences, those who want to get certificate, please fill in the form and please take a note that the registration key is 87036. Okay, I'll read it again. For those who want to get certificate, please fill in the form and please take a note that the registration key is 87036. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we come to our main program, who will be led by our moderator, Mrs. Labibah Zain. Please allow me to introduce the moderator. Mrs. Labibah Zain is head of UIN Sunan Kalijaga Library, and she is also head of Association of Islamic University Library. Mrs. Labiba Zain is also the past president of SLA Asian chapter, and she is also as a lecturer of library science in UIN Sunan Kalijaga. Okay, next I would turn over the session for the moderator. Please, Mrs. Labiba, the time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank to our rector, Bapak Rektor, Professor Dr. Al-Makin, President of Special Library Association, Asian Chapter, Dr. Debalkar, and our invited speaker for today is Dr. Jesus Lau. And also for all participants, both on Zoom or on YouTube. Thank you for being here with us in the first session of International Talk, Visiting Librarian program organized by UIN Sunan Kalijaga Library, Special Library Association Asian Chapter, and APPTIS, Association of Islamic University Library Indonesia. Today will be a great opening session. We have Dr. Jesus Lau. Thank you, Dr. Jesus Lau, for accepting our invitations to talk about Mil Alliance UNESCO Media and Information Literacy Skills. When we talk about information literacy, our mind is going to be connected automatically to a person named Dr. Jesus Lau. And the person is here right now. Everybody can interact directly to him. Everybody who are on Zooms can ask directly to Dr. Lau after he finished delivering his talk. And both the participants on Zoom and on YouTube can ask a question, write the question on chat box, and I will read it for you, and Dr. Lau will answer the question. I know you can wait to see Dr. Jesus Lau delivering his speech. But before we start, I would like to share the screen about Dr. Jesus Lau biography. Allow me to share the screen. Mana? Yang view itu. Okay, please wait a minute. Okay, this is Jesus Lau biography. As you can see, and you can read by yourself everything about Dr. Jesus Lau on the screen, but I would like to highlight some point on Jesus Lau biography. Jesus Lau is a professor at Universidad Veracruzana in Mexico. He has visited 70 countries as a leader and spokesperson for the information literacy. He played international role in prestigious organizations in the SLA and IFLA, and also the author of more than 200 papers and articles and 12 monographs, including IFLA Information Literacy Guide that has been translated into 12 languages. Spotlight. Okay. He also received a lot of awards, national and international one. Now, end it, please. End it. Stop sharing. Okay, that the Dr. Jesus Lau is already here, and Dr. Lau will talk about UNESCO Meal Alliance, media and information literacy skill. This is very important topics, especially in the current situation, in the pandemic situation, when people face a lot of infodemics, hoax, misinformation, etc. What skill do we need in this current area? And Dr. Lau will talk about it. Dr. Jesus Lau, please welcome everybody. Dr. Jesus Lau, time is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me, Labi Baba. I think it's a great honor to be the first speaker with this series. Let me share my presentation. Well, first of all, here is night. I have had a long day. I told Alibaba Labiba that I conducted a workshop today of 3 hours, which I finished about half an hour ago. So I just switched the Zoom, from one link to another. And I live in Veracruz. Veracruz is in the southeastern part of Mexico. It's a tropical area. I think it's the northernmost tropical area of the Americas. So in a way, we share this green and hot and humid climate with Indonesia. And I work for a university that is a large university. It has about 75,000 students. I think it's the 4th largest university in Mexico. And I'm a librarian, like most of you are. I got my master's degree in library science at Denver University, and I got my PhD in information science at Sheffield University. And one more comment is that I wish I could be in Indonesia, and I wish I could make it someday, as the honorable president of university mentioned. The closest that I have got to Indonesia is Singapore, but Singapore is not Indonesia. So, but anyhow, it's a great honor to be with you. The talk that I have, and the time that I have is between 20 and 30 minutes. I have these slides. Some of them, I will just pass them very quickly, but you can keep the presentation to give a further read later on. I'm currently the co-chair of the UNESCO Media and Information Literacy Alliance. It's an alliance that is integrated by more than 500 organizations and institutions around the world. This organization promotes the media and information skills among citizens, and usually by doing lobbying with governments. Okay, let's move. The topics I'm going to cover, I'm going to talk about the differences and similarities of media literacy and information literacy. And the roads that they have, the parallel roads. And at the end, I will talk about the UNESCO MIL Alliance that you can be part of. Okay. The talk is divided in 3 parts. The first one is about this common ground of these 2 competences. Yeah. Okay. In our life, we need competences of all types, and they have different names. Some authors call them transliteracies, some others call 21st century literacies, especially by Americans, or multiple literacies. But in a few words, we need a holistic approach to all these literacies. And I would say that in the bottom of them, in the foundation of all these literacies, information is one of them. Because information is like energy, it's part of almost anything that we do. So we need to have the skills, we need to have the competencies. Now here we have, the different types of media. I put them on the left, my left-hand side, those that we regard more as information, books, serials, journals, theses, and so on. And on the central and left-hand side is what I would call mass media, well, the central one, TV programs, radio, internet, social networking like Facebook, Twitter, and so on. On the right-hand side, the column on the right, we have what I would call also information tools, like archives, museum artifacts, and so on. And we need the skills, we need the competencies to take advantage and to benefit from this media, either for enjoyment, for learning, or just for our work that we may perform day by day. Now, I will show you something that I have here. I don't know if you can recognize it. Labi Baba, can you recognize what is this? Someone can guess?
Guava or potato?
A potato, a potato.
Okay.
Very good. It's difficult to see the shape through the screen. But, this potato is like information. Information tends to be added. It tends to be, it doesn't have the color, the movement, the picture that mass media has. For example, this is a book. Yeah, you can see that the cover has some color and some nice things. But if you go to inside the book, it's just text. So when you use information, you really need to develop reading skills. To search for quality information demands higher skills. But for mass media, it has color, lots of pictures. Anything that you see with lots of pictures, with lots of color, movement, this is mass media. And mass media tends to be looked down in our library world as information that is not that reliable to do a thesis or to do research or use it for our learning processes. However, mass media is very important in our lives because our daily decisions on how we dress, what we eat, how we think in political terms comes from mass media. Mass media shapes our daily decision making. So information and mass media are important. One for our daily lives and the other one for, I would call, more long-term benefits like learning, decision making, and so on. Well, this is just to exemplify the difference. Now, information literacy, as you know, is mainly a term that was coined in the library field. Usually we perform these activities in the education sector, but it can also be, in the community, especially done by public libraries. There are the standards. I was the author of the IFLA, International Federation of Library Associations, Information Literacy Standards, that I think it was translated into Indonesian language by a colleague. And information literacy is concerned with intellectual freedom, free information access, and so on. Yeah? Now, the core competencies of information literacy are here. It has three main components. The skills that have to do with access, the second that has to do with evaluation and understanding, and the third one on how to use, how to benefit from information. And these core skills have subsidiary skills that you can see on the right-hand side. For example, for access, you need to have skills to identify your need, to be aware of your information need. You have the skill to develop the skills on how to interact with the different information systems and develop, so you can develop the proper search strategy or locate an information that may be in Jakarta or maybe in Mexico City or in Moscow or somewhere else. And as you can see, each of these core skills have different subsidiary skills that in a way are the breakdown of these core skills. Now, literacies in general, it can be media literacy, information literacy, or ITC, information technology skills, writing skills. All of them are needed, and they are needed in society in general. When you at work, for our own well-being, for example, you need to have information literacy skills for health, nutrition, for the way that we behave in society, and so on. And the fourth one is education, that most of us as librarians tend to focus on information literacy in the education processes. However, information literacy and media literacy are important in each of these four circles. Media and information have parallel roles. In other words, they are similar in the way that they aim, that they have the same objective of having an information society, an information skill society, where people can develop competencies to benefit to develop the knowledge, skills, and the proper attitudes, the values to use information when you recognize the intellectual property of ideas, pictures, whatever we find on the internet or in other library. And we need both skills in order to succeed in our personal or community life. Certainly, people need these skills in order to have a better life, to survive and thrive, to improve the quality of their lives. UNESCO share these principles that sort of are at the bottom of media and information literacy. One is equal access to quality of education for all, where information and media are part, they are the main ingredients of any learning process. Another principle or human right is universal access to information. The aim of UNESCO and the UN, United Nations in general, is to have, a universal access to information for all, for anyone. And these information sources should represent the cultural and linguistic diversity of each country in the world in general. I know Indonesia is such a plural country, a large one. And another principle is freedom of expression, that people have the right to express their ideas, their beliefs. I'm going to move to the next one. Here is a definition of the information society. The concept of information society is based on information skills. If you see the second paragraph, where an information society where everyone can create, access, utilize, and share information and knowledge to enable communities, groups, and individuals so that they can develop their full potential as human beings. Well, this is sort of like the general concepts of media and information literacy that I'm sure many of you are familiar with. The second part, is about the similarities and differences of these two competencies. As I said, both literacies of both sets of skills share the same goals, to have an information skill citizen or individual. Both skills are similar in general, except for two things. Media follows you everywhere you are. If you have an intelligent phone, a mobile phone, media will follow you everywhere you go. If you open your computer or any computing device, media will pop up in the different ways that it comes or its shape. In fact, our contemporary society is devoting a lot of time, many hours, to access and be entertained by media. In some cases, it's affecting even our efficiency and effective activities or work. And in the case of media, we don't have to develop access skills. They're needed that much, unlike information. For example, if you want to look for quality information, then you need proper skills. You want to find a patent, you want to find a good scientific article, you really have to have information skills. See? Obviously, they focus on different materials. Media tends to be on these products that address general needs and general public, general groups, while information tend to be more focused. If you publish a book, it tends to be for a certain group of society or community. And the use, I would say, is similar. Now, both of them share the same principles of the information cycle. There is a process to create it, to make it available, to distribute it, and to provide it, yeah, and be received by the community through means to different channels, yeah. And the final one is that this information is to be used. Is to be used according to the needs of the user and sometimes according to the promotion that each resource does. Media is usually quite effective in promoting their products, unlike information or scientific information that needs that has less promotion or is less visible. Here is the role of media literacy. Normally, media literacy is essential for active citizenship in regard to democracy, especially in the Western world, for governance, and it has to do or shapes our concepts about race, class, gender, and contributes to this stereotype building. And as I said earlier, media has to do with public health, with tobacco, alcohol, and drugs, especially in countries where this is an open consumption. Certainly media promotes to the adverts sometimes the wrong message, and also can contribute to peace as well as to violence. So public health media can play a positive as well as a negative role in promoting public health. Media is also so much related to aesthetics, to the nice view of things. For example, I have here a newspaper. Normally they show pictures. It's quite attractive to see a newspaper, easy because it has the photographs or the pictures. But if you see a film, it normally pays attention on the quality of the music to emphasize the message or the picture with the light or the darkness in order to convey the idea of the creator. So the aesthetics part, the beauty part is essential to media literacy. Unlike, as I said, also information. Information literacy is normally concerned with the information quality, the relevance, the validity and reliability of information, if it is up to date, if it's accurate, and if it is complete. This is something that we as librarians, especially at university libraries, are very much concerned. Why? Because we are related to knowledge creation, to knowledge building. And so information becomes an important tool, very vital in terms of, because it determines the quality of the learning process at universities or any educational institution. Here we have, here I have this graphic that was part of an article that I published some time ago about the common aspects of both skills. We have on the top information skills, and at the bottom mass media skills. You can see the columns. One is user, the medium, and the use. So it summarizes more or less what I already said to you. Information said to be validated, usually by peer review, an editorial process that tends to be quite deep, especially, and it goes according to the prestige of the journal or the publishing house. Mass media is lighter in terms of evaluation, although they also have, research-based products like editorials of the New York Times. But in general, mass media tends to be produced in shorter terms and with less peer review, unlike information. Here you have a summary. I will not go through the whole graphic. It was part of a chapter that was published in a book by UNESCO. But basically, it describes the different stratas that an individual, a successful one, will have. We have on the bottom, at the bottom, the reasoning skills. The second one is the oral communication. The third one is literacy, that includes reading, writing, numeracy, and other basic skills. Followed by ICT skills, what media literacy is. And at the top is information literacy. There is a chapter that describes this constellation that later on I can share the reference, as well as the other one. I will not go into detail because it will take me a lot of time, but you can keep it to see it with more time. Okay, I will move to the third part of the talk. I already mentioned the general concepts of media and information literacy. The second part was on the parallel roads that both take, and they have this joint goal of having an information society or an information skills society. Here I'm going to talk about the UNESCO MIL Alliance, the UNESCO Alliance for Media and Information Literacy, that I hope your university or you as individuals can become part. I'm the co-chair for until the end of this year, and hopefully I may run again for the co-presidency. The other co-president is from Brazil, but we have representatives from Asia, from Africa, North America, and Europe. The International Steering Committee is a broad one. We have a very good geographical representative of the 5 continents. Well, like, media and information literacy, our alliance has the same goal, to have a media and information literacy, literate society. An information skills society, we assume, will be more open to ideas, will be able to listen to the different points of view of society. The concept of media and information literacy has about 11 years. Originally, UNESCO had 2 divisions. One was for libraries, that was called information, and the other one was for mass media. And I think they still keep these 2 divisions. Well, they discovered that both divisions were working to develop media and information skills, obviously with a focus of each division. Well, 11 years ago, they came to discover that they were doing the same efforts, the same kind of work. So they decided to join the concept and try to motivate the international community to join efforts either from scholars, librarians, as well as mass media specialists. Here you have the website of UNESCO, where you can find this information that I mentioned. Here you have the website link. Here is the UNESCO Alliance. We have a new logo that is on the bottom. This logo came out at the end of November in our last international conference. And the whole MIL Alliance is being reshaped to have more visibility and to be more effective in the work that we do. The objectives of the MIL Alliance is to articulate, key strategic partnerships to drive MIL globally. It is the aim of this network is to be able to speak with a single voice certain critical matters, including the need for policies, especially among governments around the world. You can read more. There is the link on the top of the slide. There is a special program that is called MIL Clicks that is devoted to youth. This site has webinars, activities, publications devoted to MIL amongst youngsters. Even within the conference, there is a special day devoted to MIL Clicks, where youth from the different parts of the world present what they are doing. We have a MIL curriculum that was published 10 years ago, and we hope to have a new edition at the end of 2021. The team is integrated by, I think, about 15 authors from around the world. I'm also being part of this team, and we have someone from the Philippines, someone from Hong Kong, another specialist from India, and so on. The current curriculum, the old one, that still is the one available. There is an online curriculum in English. There are some other versions in other languages, but if you want to benefit from this MIL curriculum course, it will be great. The course was developed having teachers in mind, but it can be used at universities, communities, anywhere, and you can take the modules that are relevant to you and adopt them. There is a MIL assessment handbook in case you want to develop indicators at national level in Indonesia or at your university or in a municipality, county, or whatever you call, your political divisions of Indonesia. This is important in order to develop, to create statistics for decision making, especially for the educational sector, government educational sectors. Here is the logo of our 2020 conference. Originally, it was planned to be a face-to-face conference in Seoul, Korea. But as you may guess, because of the coronavirus, it had to be offered online. It's a good conference. Last year was Seoul, Korea, although it was a virtual one. The previous one was in Sweden. Another one was in Jamaica, Brazil, etc. And we also have some regional ones in, for example, Latin America has had one, Europe, and I think Asia too. Well, I'm coming to the end. The membership for the MIL Alliance is free. You just need to fill some forms and you can be part of it. You can contribute to the work that we do. And you can also benefit from the different tools and materials that we are producing. And we need librarians. I would say that we librarians are a minority at this alliance. I think I'm the first, this time, for the first time, we are 2 librarians in the International Steering Committee, because most of the membership is composed by mass media specialists, usually news specialists, TV, and so on. Well, here are some sources in case you want to learn more about MIL Alliance. You can download, there are books. We published a book after every conference, and they are open access materials. Well, I come to the conclusion in order to be on time. Well, I would like to conclude that ML and IL, or in other words, media literacy and information literacy, have common roles in parallel grounds. They share the same objectives and values to have an information skill society. There are differences, but I think the similarities are more. And the UNESCO MIL Alliance contributes to raise MIL awareness, especially among governments. That is one of the charters of UNESCO. You can join MIL Alliance, it is free. And my final remark will be that we as librarians have an important role in teaching, in enabling our citizens, our students, our faculty to develop these media and information skills. If they develop these skills in a proper way, they can benefit and they can contribute to the international or the world literature. Thank you so much. And it's a pleasure to be with you in Indonesia through Zoom.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
So much,
Thank you, Professor. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the very inspiring presentations. So if we want to join meals, it should be personally or institutions?
It can be both.
Oh, it can be both. Okay.
It can be both. Yeah.
Okay. So it's
right now. Yes. Sorry.
It's okay. You can continue.
No, I was about to say that so far, most of the members are organizations, but we can have also individuals.
Okay.
Normally, we ask individuals to be backed up by the institutions.
Okay. So, very interesting, yeah. If everybody here or institutions can join MIL, Media and Information Literacy, you will contribute to the vision of information media. So if you have question here on Zoom, you can ask directly to Dr. Jesus Lau. Everybody can raise hand and unmute yourself and ask the question to Dr. Lau. Everybody want to ask a question? Let me check the chat box and also, yeah, this is the very good opportunity to see directly, to ask a question directly to Dr. Jesus Lau. Okay, Josefa Silaid from Kaltara, from Kalimantan, Borneo, Dr. Jesus Lau. Josefa want to ask a question. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you. Apakah suara saya sudah terdengar? Halo?
Yes. Yeah.
We hear you.
Okay. Thank you, Ibu Labiba. Ya. Buenas tardes, Mr. Senor Jesus Lau.
Wow. Yeah. Buenas tardes. Buenas noches.
Yo hablo español poco. I aprender on Duolingo. How do UNESCO reach out to the people in a very remote area due to developing media information literacy? As we in North Kalimantan, we have so many remote areas. What and how do we prepare to join your programs? Thank you. Gracias.
Well, por nada. Well, UNESCO itself does not reach these remote areas because UNESCO is a government organization. Normally, UNESCO works through the governments. So what UNESCO does is support, guide national governments. But you as an individual in your library or wherever you are, I didn't recall how to pronounce your place. You can benefit from getting the materials from UNESCO's website. UNESCO also has some programs where you can take part, sometimes co-financed by national governments in UNESCO. UNESCO itself doesn't have money. The money, the finances come from the membership. But there are programs, there are international programs where you can join. Muchas
Okay,
gracias.
is it clear, Josefa?
Yes.
Okay.
Gracias, muchas gracias, senor.
Por nada, señorita.
Gracias, gracias, Josefa Silain. I'm trying to speak Mexican, Spanish lah.
Very good, very good. I'm going to
Okay.
speak Indonesian though.
Yeah, you have to be able to speak Indonesia. Selamat pagi, it means good morning.
Pagi. Okay.
Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi.
Pagi, yes, that's great.
Selamat pagi to everyone.
Okay, so everybody is free to join meals. Okay, so everybody want to ask a question again, please unmute yourself. Joseph, Yap, you want to talk directly to Dr. Jesus Lau, or I can read it for you? Joseph, where are you?
Yeah, please, you can read it.
Okay, I can read it. Okay, this is the question from Jesus Lau from Kazakhstan. As always, thanks for your presentation, Dr. Lau. My question is, how should we deal with misinformation circulating in social media shared by librarians themselves? Do we need to police them or just be quiet to save our professional relationships? That's a very interesting question. Sometimes a librarian share the information that is not valid. What is your answer?
Well, I think Joseph himself is an expert in this matter. Well, the main strategy is education, is training. And in regard to fake news and misinformation, it is because people doesn't have the background, the information behind. In most cases, also because they don't have the principles, the values to counteract or to filter something that is not right. The challenge that we have with mass media or misinformation is that normally all this social media that is coming out to our mobiles, this information that is quite nice, it's very attractive. And when we see this information, this media, we don't have the time to consult, to validate the sources, the recommendations that you get, check the name, the date, and so on. You normally decide in that instant, in that moment. So what we need to work is to develop intuition, the proper intuition in people, so they can take the right decision at the moment that I get in this media through their eyes or to the ears. And now, in order to have a good intuition, you really need to have a good reading habits, in order to really have this framework to filter what is considered right, proper, true, or untrue. So it's a complex matter, but at the bottom of this process is family education and school education, the formal learning of individuals.
Okay, so it's actually it is pretty complicated, because when sometimes share the information on the WhatsApp group, for example, and they say, oh no, I just share it, I just share it, and then if you don't like it, you just delete it. Sometimes people do like that, but as librarian, we have to really careful, and also to give education to people to give the framework how to spot the information, which one is the valid one and which one is not.
Yeah, we as librarians need to practice our own library principles.
Okay.
If we forward, a message, it doesn't matter how attractive it is, we have to comment. I haven't checked, I haven't validated this message, but it's nice. With this, you're giving a warning, to people in order to make a decision if they read it, believe it, or whatever.
Okay.
The second one is to mention the source.
Okay.
Yeah, getting this via X.
Okay, so is it okay to distribute information and we just say that I don't know the source one, I don't know this is valid or not, but this content of the information is good.
Yeah, or looks good. Or looks good.
Looks good. Looks good. And then the second one, you have to mention the resource, the source of information. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then there are some more questions, Dr. Lau. This is from Septian Nur Hakim in Jakarta. Thank you for your presentation, Dr. Lau. My name is Septian Nur Hakim from UIN Sarif Hidayatullah, Jakarta. I have question. How about the real established cooperation about media and information literacy between agencies or between countries?
Well, I think one of the benefits of becoming a member of MIL Alliance is that you will meet or be able to interact with government agencies or non-government agencies that are also concerned perhaps with the same issues that you may have in your own country. In regard to cooperation between agencies from one country or another, you really have to approach them to do it. However, UNESCO has some programs where you can participate. For example, yesterday I got a message from the regional office of UNESCO asking for proposals, the international proposals regarding different projects, where you can include MIL. Okay. If there are these calls, you can try to work, I don't know, between Indonesia and Singapore or China, etc. So being part of MIL Alliance will help you to make the contacts.
Okay, so is it clear, yeah, Septian? And then we have question from Ulfah Andayani from UIN Jakarta also. Ulfah is the board committee of APPTIS, Association of Islamic Library University Indonesia. Ulfah asked you a question. Dr. Lau, would you mind sharing your practical experiences working as an academic librarian in teaching media literacy in higher education, challenge, obstacles, and the programs?
Wow, okay, I need another hour more to speak. But anyhow, I will try to summarize. I became aware of information literacy in 1996, I think. I went to an IFLA conference in Istanbul, where for the first time I heard the term information literacy. At the time, I was the director of a university library system where we were privileged to have an excellent funding. My direct boss was the university president, and he invited me to come to work for his university. And I was reluctant to do it because I had a good job at the moment, and I was working somewhere in the country. And he insisted, and so I said, okay, I'll join your university as long as you give me about 4 things. 1, give me the freedom to hire, library experts. 2nd, to set proper library salaries, to whoever I hire. 3rd, to give me the freedom to play or to work with academics. And also I would need 5% of the budget in order to make the best library system in the country. And he said yes, and he did it. And we had the best library system, at least in northern Mexico, taking into account, the size of the university. We had the resources, we had new buildings, furniture, and so on. So, but I had these great collections, but I didn't have the quality demand. I didn't have the proper use of the libraries. That's when I came up with information literacy. We needed to educate. We needed to facilitate information skills. What I did, well, one of the things was to train faculty, and I was given the position of academic affairs vice chancellor. So, and it meant that I could do all sorts of things to help, and work with faculty. This experience helped me to draft the national Mexican information literacy standards that later on I used them to work on the IFLA ones. I developed the first online 5-grade online course for undergraduates. Some universities have used this model. For example, I'm a library advisor to a northern university with every student as they enter the university, how to take an information literacy course for 8 grades, which is a regular course. It's compulsory. This university has an evaluation, an information skills evaluation as the students enter the university and also when they leave it. This university is also one of the few that information culture is part of the strategic plan of the university, part of the university philosophy. So I have been quite active in this matter, usually trying to help university officials to develop information skills program.
That's very interesting. So it's basically about if you want to be serious on information literacy, please provide the budget, right, Jesus Lau? Train the faculty, and put the information literacy as required course in the university. And information literacy campaign is part of strategic planning of university. Okay, this is okay. And the next question, Dr. Lau. This is from April Manabat. She is from Philippines, but right now she works on Nazarbayev University, Kazakhstan. She said, "Thanks for such a great presentation, Dr. Lau. May I know what is your stand on using the term fake news? Should we use the term fake when news are supposed to be true and not fake? Please elaborate on this term."
Let's see if I can read. So the question is, if fake news is a proper term?
Yeah. And then could you please elaborate more on this term?
Well, the term fake news dates, I think, since the beginning of history, from the Roman times. If you read a little bit about the subject, news, the term news doesn't mean that it's a truth or it's false. It is a perception. It's a perception of someone, and sometimes, the perception is done in goodwill because that's the information that they have. But also, some news are crafted, are written with a negative goal in mind, but they are still news. So I would say that the term is correct. There are some new terms that have come out, like disinformation, that some people prefer because you're really making people being lost in the information. So fake news, in a way, I would say it's a proper term. There are more new ones that are coming and try to be more comprehensive, not only about news, but whatever media we get to our mobiles or our TV sets and so on.
Okay, thank you. And any question again? A lot of questions, Dr. Lau. We will finish all the question, and then you have to finish answering the question before ending this session. Okay, and then from Yudo, from Paul Tekad Batu, Malang, from East Java, Indonesia. Would you please give more explanation if mass media can use the decision making in long term, especially in education circumstances?
But let's see if I understood the question.
Okay.
Mass media, as it is, normally is not a reliable source for academics. You want to write a research thesis, you normally have to use scientific articles, academic books, and so on. However, mass media can be used if you're doing, for example, communication, then mass media will become a source. But in general, mass media is not the proper materials to use when you're doing research. However, if you are, identifying opinions, feelings, mass media will become a source because this is your subject of research.
Okay, so mass media is not the proper source for in academic environments. But however, Dr. Jesus Lau, some people said that here ask question, how to avoid media framing?
Media framing.
Media framing, yes. Media framings.
I don't get that.
Yeah, in the political, sometimes people do some media framing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mean sort of like controlling the content of the
Yeah,
media?
yeah.
Now,
Not only controlling, but it's frame public opinion.
Okay, I see.
Them.
Yeah. Well, this is one of the problems, of our humanity at the moment. The framing of news, social media, social networks are behind, for example, in political votes. For example, the UK, the United Kingdom or England has voted to exit the European Union. And after this fact, there have been studies, and now they are aware they made a mistake because most of the decision making of the voters was done to this news framing or social media framing, with using false data, false statistics, and it has become sort of like the common trend among governments. And this happened in my own country. It has happened with the US, our neighbor at the north. It happens at other Asian countries that I will not mention to be respectful. But it is a problem. It is a problem in Mexico and Brazil, the US.
Yeah.
I think we as librarians have a great role to play in trying to educate people to learn that every message has an intention.
Okay.
No matter how beautiful or how written it is, there is an intention.
Okay. Okay, so the key for the media framing or mind condition using media is again education, right? And then once again, some people got confused about the differences among literacy media and digital literacy.
Between digital literacy and what other?
Media literacy.
Media literacy and digital literacy.
Yes.
Well, the term digital literacy, I think is used in a wrong manner.
Oh.
Digital literacy in the precise or narrow meaning has to do with the skills to use devices, to use a computer, your cell phone, and so on. But for some educators, and sorry that even educators use this term in a wrong manner, digital education is used to name information literacy, media literacy, and other literacies. But digital is just one way because we have analog literacy, which you have analog literacy against digital literacy. So the proper meaning of digital literacy is how to use, devices, how to use equipment, software, but not the content that runs through the software.
If it is the content, it means what? What literacy? Information literacy.
Digital literacy has to do with equipment.
Okay.
But information literacy has to do with information that runs through this equipment, as well as media.
Okay, so the digital media, digital literacy is about how to use equipment properly. Okay, so this is, I think, last question, because we have to end the session actually.
Yes, and I have to go to bed now.
Oh, yeah. So we have to finish, but once more
Yes,
question.
please.
Yeah. How many library organization or association in your country?
Well,
Can Indonesia library organization do knowledge sharing or exchange library presenters such at this time? This is from Ivonila Salatiga.
okay, we have the National Library Association that is called AMBAC, Asociación Mexicana de Bibliotecarios, Mexican Library Association, which is the oldest. It was originally founded in the 1920s and then became an official organization in the 1950s. We also have the College of Librarians, that is for people who have a degree in library science. We also have a Public Libraries Association, and we have state library associations. Not every state has a library association, but some do, and some are active, and some others are less active. So these are the association in general. There are minor ones. There are one for archives. The National Library Association has chapters or sections for university libraries, information literacy, and so on.
Okay. So there's a lot of association, yeah, Ibu, in Mexico. I think the knowledge sharing, something like this, can be built on a regular basis, and then maybe we can contact with, in COVID situation like that, everything is possible, because I would like to invite Jesus Lau actually in Indonesia. You remember last time? But,
I have 70 countries. I need to add one more.
Yes, because if you don't visit Indonesia, so it's your visit on a 70 country doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sometimes you have to visit Indonesia, Dr. Jesus Lau.
I will be glad and honored.
Okay. Yeah, because this is during COVID, so it is possible for us to interact each other between librarians on the web. And as you see right now, Jesus Lau is in front of you. Can you believe that? So everybody is very happy because you are here, Dr. Jesus Lau. This is very interactive session actually, but unfortunately there is a limited time that I have to stop the session. I will let Dr. Jesus Lau go to the bed, because what time is right now? What
Here
time?
is almost 9:30 p.m.
Okay, almost 9:30. Okay,
But,
so
it's dinner time is dinner time because I have been teaching since 5 p.m.
Oh my God, you didn't got your food yet, because I remember.
And I wish I would have a nice Indonesian dish.
Wow, yeah.
I wish.
Yeah, you wish you can come to have Indonesian dish, and then you have in Indonesia you will have a lot of guava. Remember that we bought guava in
beautiful fruit.
Fruit, yeah. I know you like fruit so much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is an obsession, but don't go away. I will give the opportunity to my MC, Miss Ismi, to close this program for today. But remember to attend our second session on February. We will meet Dr. Santanu Ganguly. He will talk about knowledge management. Okay, thank you very much. It is such great presentation, Dr. Lau. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes?
Thanks to you. And to
Okay.
all organizers.
Thank you so much. Miss Ismiati, time is yours.
So I'll say goodbye.
Okay, no, not yet. We have to take picture together.
Okay.
Okay. Please make your video on, all participants. We're gonna take a picture, Zoom picture. Okay, slide number 1. Okay, I think by Ismi we have to thanks to Ragil, the sign language interpreter. Sign language interpreter is, you did a very good job. Ragil, thank you so much for helping us, because Universitas Islam Negeri is Sunan Kalijaga is inclusive. So some people with difficulties on the hearing, they can still join this. Thank you so much.
Very good. Thank you so much, Baba.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Gracias.
Gracias. Thank you so much. If you want to leave, okay, you can leave.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you everybody.
Thank you very much for joining us today. See you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you. See you next time.
For always supporting us. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much.
For those people who want to get a certificate, you already signed the attendance forms. Yeah. Okay. Please fill in the forms, and then we will send it the certificate right away. Thank you, Dr. Deba, Dr.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Ulfa, terima kasih, Pak Nur, Pak Amin,
Thank you, Labiba.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bu Yati, terima kasih. Pak Triyono, thank you so much. Pak Deden, Emi Damayanti, Nilam, Meta Surahman, Tawaf, Pak Tawaf, terima kasih. Thank you so much Pak Tawaf for attending the session. Bu Zulfitri from Imam Bonjol, a lot of members, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to join us next month with Dr. Shantanu Ganguly. He will talk about knowledge management.
Okay, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait.
What? Who's talking?
Tawaf.
Hey, Tawaf. Okay.
Yo, we are going to wait for the next person, the next webinar.
Oh yeah. Okay. It is. That's all for today. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Have a nice day.
See you.
See you. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Tawa,
Bisa cilik.
Pak Tawa bahasa Inggrisnya Karen apa?
Dah. Karena diundi lagi.
You can have that. Ngobrol-ngobrol kan? Coba tuh ini. For everybody who didn't fill out the attendance form, please feel free to fill the form with registration key 87036. Done?
Done.
Oke, Pak Nasrul Magdis, halo, apa kabar?
Baik, baik Bu Labibah, baik. Luar biasa Bu, amazing.
Amazing.